Hello everyone, welcome to my video. Welcome to my channel. It's been a long time since I've done a video. I don't really do YouTube anymore. I might post some shorts or some put together videos that just play music. But I kind of wanted to just give a little bit of an update on my life. This is nothing that all of this is really good news, so it's kind of like a little memory for me, and just even where I'm standing right now, and that probably the next time I do something like this, if I have time to ever do this again, it won't be in this environment and definitely won't be in this circumstance. But anyway, and yes, I am having a cigarette, but I have completely cut my intake of nicotine. I never was a heavy smoker. I could smoke 5 cigarettes a day. Now I smoke maybe 2. So I came out here to have some coffee and a cigarette, and I said, you know what, I was going through some of my craft stuff. I want to make a couple of things I seen on some videos. So anyway, if you have never came across my channel, I can't tell you exactly what this channel, the content is necessarily surrounded about. So it's kind of like I come and maybe I commentate on things, or I just show you maybe a little montage. Do I have an eyelash? Oh, can't make a wish. Oh, I have an eyelash, but I won't get it. Yeah, so like, there's not anything per se I put out, you know? More or less, I might just show you like things I've put together, you know, through an editing app. So anyway, my name is Diana, if you don't know. And I have recently graduated from the New York State Peer Academy, which is to become a peer recovery specialist. So right now I am certified as a provisional peer recovery specialist. So it's basically advocacy. You use your lived experiences, and of course you have to pass the school and give certain references, which are not friends and not family and not any of your counselors or doctors or anything like that. And the board has to oversee your case, and then they will pass you. So New York State did grant me my provisional certification, which means now I will do 2,000 hours of work time. So there is, how I found out about this was through an old friend through high school who sort of had a background like myself. And I said, let me just check it out. So I was denied employment because I had made mistakes decades ago. And it was starting to take effect. And I'm not getting any younger. And I realized I really need to jump on this. So I went full force. And I went for my county. I submitted all the paperwork by myself with no lawyer to have my specific case sealed, which is something that almost never gets done. So of course I submitted it to the court and to the DA. Now the DA is who sees it first, and the DA did give me a no. Of course, it's usually a no right off the gate. You know, right off the rip, they're just gonna hope that you see it in black and white and you go no further. So with that said, I did have a hearing, though. They did, they have to give you a hearing in front of a judge. You go against the prosecutor. Now, I went for my first hearing, and that was on November 16th. And on that very date, our Governor Hochul had signed the Clean Slate Act. That's all well and good. However, yes, that will change. That will change some jobs protocol for, for their background check. They will have to kind of change things. And if you're an offender, after 3 years, then you, as long as you didn't hurt anybody, there's stipulations. But after only 3 years, mine was 10 years. And then 4 years went by, and I was not really doing the best in those last 4 years. Now we're coming up on 5 years. So I kind of just worked menial jobs, and as long as I was bringing in a paycheck, it really didn't affect me. And then the pandemic hit, and it hit at the correct time because I lost my job due to the pandemic. So I was making my rightfully paid into unemployment benefits. But of course, because of the pandemic, I was getting pandemic benefits. So, I was kind of just not doing what I was supposed to be doing. Really, nobody could make any moves. So, anyway, I came across this peer recovery advocacy program. However, it was for the city, and I go back and forth to the city, not just for my own treatment, but I do have a significant other and family out there, and I only have one family member that's still living on the island, and so I do travel back and forth. And I spend a lot of my time here because my significant other works 2 jobs. So he works at night, overnight. He gets about a half-hour shower time and like 40 minutes sleep time. And then he works another 6.5 to 7 hours in Manhattan at a lawyer's office with his sister, who's a paralegal. So he's hustling. He does garbage at night. He's a manager, yes, but there are nights where he's on the back of a truck busting his butt. So in any weather, doesn't matter. So, he has been my A1 supporter. And I felt like, okay, I'm here most of the time, so I knew I needed to make moves. And then I realized that I was not going to get this one specific job that I seen anybody could get. But because of my issue, I could not. Now, the gentleman said, if you can prove this, that's a third. Now, I had just started this process. So I told him, I don't have any paperwork yet. I haven't even seen a judge. He says, look, you can reapply. When you reapply, be completely honest, have all your paperwork, and we will go from there. So, fast forward, November, I had the hearing. The judge said, do you want to come back with a lawyer? So I was a little intimidated. I seen the prosecutor. She didn't intimidate me, but she did kind of say something to the effect that she hadn't been in a courtroom in 10 years. And I didn't really know how to take that. So I said to myself, let me ponder this. Let's get through the holidays. And I would be going back after New Year's. And let me see. So I talked to a couple of lawyers, and they said, look, you did all the legwork. You already got a hearing and an adjournment. There's really nothing that I can do for you. This gentleman really took the time to tell me they want to hear from you. They're going to ask you questions. They're going to ask you questions about what you've, attempted to do and why you didn't get it. And is it because of this? So I went through the entire opposition line for line. I highlighted things that I thought were somewhat discriminatory. Anything that I was able to prove that I had done, like, education, which I did. I completed the program, graduated. Then I was certified. So all of that was done by the time I went back to court. So that was now new relevant evidence. I couldn't just tell them, oh, by the way, I'm going to be taking this program and then I'm going to get certified. They don't do that. You have to show it's you're responsible as the defendant to bear the burden of proof. So I couldn't do any of that. I could only bring in things that were pertinent to the case at the time. So, of course, I went in front of the judge, and my first and foremost thing was to show them that I made a mistake and I am extremely sorry. And I made a mistake that, yes, granted what happened, and I didn't say this, but in the back of my mind, I would have never have been there if it wasn't for somebody who didn't want to do their time and own up as a man, and instead, dragged me into this mess. I took full responsibility, and I am just grateful that nobody got hurt. That is my main concern. And here we are 15 years later, and I have no further convictions, never seen a cop, nothing. So it's about time that I have a chance at a sustainable, decent life, not working as a cashier at a Walmart, or if that even is going to last ever, I mean, we're so high tech, please, it's going to change sooner than later. So you really need to have some sort of niche. And I've always been a caretaker. I've always been someone who's extremely interested in healthcare, mental health care specifically, addiction disorders, any type of mental health disorders. Developmental disorders is something that I've been familiar with from way back in the day, but I prefer to work with people that suffer from addiction and people that suffer from mental illness. So I came across a local place, and he was so nice, this gentleman. He gave me all the information. I signed up right away. The classes started in September. I had extra time on my hands, so it was September to December 1st. I completed the program early, and I don't think I got less than a B+. Maybe 1C in one, or 1C+ in one really hard course. And if I really wanted to, I could take the test one more time. You're allowed 2 times per test and see what happens. And they take your highest score. But I left it as is, and I sent my transcript. I sent my references, everything they wanted. And that took a little bit of time, but it came just in time for my court date. So I had all of that to show them. I spoke to the judge, and then me and the prosecutor went back and forth as if I was representing myself. So like I was my own lawyer. I am not going to lie. My knees were shaking, but I didn't have anything to hide, and there was nothing to lie about. So anything she asked me, I had either proof to show her, or what I was telling her came natural. It came from the heart or from the head, because it's true. There was no hiccup. There was no stammer. There was no stutter. There was no nothing. I was not overconfident. I was super nervous, but it was all coming from my heart, and it was all the truth. And so I thought she was going to just bury me. And she was fair. She was absolutely fair. The judge listened to both of us. And I watched him take notes on certain things. And he said, okay, is there anything you'd like to say? And she said no. He asked me. I looked at my notes. I said, no, Your Honor, I think that's it. Thank you for hearing me out. And he said, you will have a letter in 5 to 7 days with your decision. And I said, okay, thank you very much. Happy New Year. And I left. I left feeling good. And I expected to get a flat out no. I didn't think they were going to mail me my answer. And so like 10 days went by. One of them was a holiday. And of course, you got to count the weekends. So like the 11th day goes by. And I'm able to look up what's going to come in the mail that day. I just go to my email and there's like this website. So you can go on the USPS.com thing. And I see that there is a letter from my county court. And I'm like, oh my God, it's just a small envelope. I thought it would have been a big yellow envelope with paperwork. So right then I was like, I guess I didn't get it, you know? And I got the envelope and I was shaking. Like I couldn't even open it. But it was taped shut. And sure as you know what, I was reading so fast I couldn't and I see this big black dot and the word granted. And I'm like, oh my God, I did it. I did it. I just screamed up and down. I did it. And I did it all alone. I had the support of my honey. He came to the court dates. But I did this and all the research and all the typing. I mean, I typed out exactly what the judge might say literally from good morning, Your Honor, how are you? How was your holidays? To I did a whole script to try to keep myself on track. I timed myself. I made a video multiple times to see how long it would take me. I really went in on this. And I'm like, I did it. I did it. Like, this is it. And granted, the Clean Slate Act in a year is good. But coming from someone who went in front of a judge, who has the paperwork from the judge, is going to be way more than just, okay, they signed a bill because, let's be real, there's a strain on our resources, and a lot of it is because I can't get a job. I have a record. I can't get a job. I have a record. So here I'm going to be able to say, I went into court and I did this on my own, all by myself. And amongst going to school. And that was online, by the way, which you have to be disciplined to do that, because you could do that. I had X amount of time to do that. And whatever you finish, even if you don't finish by the time, it still carries to the next term. So I could have dragged that out. You know what I mean? Like, I could have been totally lazy about it and been like, all right, whatever happens, happens. But I wanted to get it done. I want to get working in the field. It's what I do, you know, and that's a lot of what I told the judge is, I want to be able to help someone not be standing here like I am today. That is my goal. That is what I do. I help people. Can't help myself, but I can help people. And I am just so elated that all of this worked out. I mean, for many years, I was hitting brick walls and nothing was working for me. And so I have to thank God. I have to thank my lovely angels, Daddy, Nanny, Poppy, my cousins, my aunts, and myself. I really did it. And I hope it's inspiration for you guys that you can do it too. Don't just take an immediate no on a piece of paper. Do your research. Go to the library, Google, do what you have to do, make phone calls, and You know, it's not something that's not obtainable. So I hope that this is, you know, a little educational and inspirational. And also, you know, for those of you who may know me and want to know, you know, where things are, this is what's going on. And I am so, so happy. So yeah, that's that. That's that. And blessings to all those. We need to really be mindful and kind to each other because things are bad out there. And we are not in a good space with the borders wide open, not just for migrants that we can't afford to take care of, but we are holding these doors open for all terrorists to be like, yeah, come right on in and do what you want to us. We are very vulnerable, so we need to have each other's backs and be kind to each other. And that's anywhere, in the grocery store, in the bank, in the Dunkin' Donuts, wherever it may be, on the road, because you never know what someone is going through, and you never want to be someone who adds or becomes that person's last straw. So that's my little words of wisdom. And God bless you all. And yeah, I hope that this helps someone. So thanks for listening. And if you have listened, please leave a blessing emoji in the comments so I know who my true listeners are. And if you want to subscribe, because I probably will do more videos like this. This is probably more my speed. So subscribe, like, excuse me. And yeah, I will probably see you very soon. All right, guys. Ciao.